Hi, this is Lynda with Living Live, and I'm excited to be here with Christine Robinson. Christine has helped. Oh, I have her bio, so let me read that. I want to make sure I do this right. Oh wait, before we get started, oh my gosh, I'm all of sorts. I had to just to tell you the truth, I had to reboot my computer, and it was taking forever. Have you ever had that happen where like you're on a timeline and then all of a sudden it's just taking forever? But that's what happened. So let me catch back in here. Whew, okay, I'm here. Okay, first of all, if you are interested in writing a book or you know anybody who is interested in writing a book, please share this video with them, because we're going to go through some tips and tricks about writing a book, and not only that, but about publishing a book. So Christine Robinson is a passionate visionary who works with entrepreneurs, coaches, and speakers, helping them create their first or second book and become #1 bestseller on Amazon and see their message in print. Through her mentoring and proven strategies, she takes budding authors from having a simple idea or no idea to being recognized as extraordinary experts in their fields, and inspires them to be leaders of their lives, business, and audience. She has helped more than 455 authors become #1 bestseller. That's #1, you guys. Her clients are passion-driven entrepreneurs and leaders who are ready to be seen and heard globally, step up and shine while putting their message out there in a profound way. Christine can be found organizing luxurious retreats, which I think she just came back from one recently, leading seminars, and building a tribe of the stars of tomorrow. Christine, welcome. I'm always honored to have you on my show because you are amazing, and I love everything about you since I first met you. So welcome.
Thank you, Lynda, and likewise as well. You're such an enthusiasm ball of enthusiasm, a ball of enthusiasm, and
that's a great word. Enthusiastable or something. So today we're going to talk about not only writing a book, but about publishing a book. And then since I wrote mine, right, and published it, like we were talking earlier about what it does for you, not only like as it does something great for your career, but it also does something for you personally. And so we're going to talk about all of that today. So let's ask the first question. Christine, you tell us, why should somebody want to write a book, or why should they write a book?
Well, the #1 first reason is for themselves, because statistics show and research shows, well, depends on where you look. Some say between 80 and some say 88% of people want to write the book, but only 2% ever do it. So that is such a huge shame, thinking that people go to their deathbed eventually without ever writing their book. So, that's whether it's just for it's a legacy, or, for their future family, to leave a legacy like that. But also you have a burning desire in you. You wouldn't be watching this if you didn't have a burning desire in you to get your message out to a much wider audience, to a global audience, and to make a much larger impact. But I think the most important reason is that people need to read your book. So whatever your message is, even if it's one person, 2 people, 20 people who read your book and take something from it and helps them go from where they are now, where they're stuck, and helps them to move forward, into that next space. But also for you and your business is for them to see that, to get to know, like, and trust you, because it's really intimate reading a book, isn't it? I mean, I read my books in bed. What's more intimate than that? They get to know, like, and trust you, and see you as the author, as the authority, see you as the expert in your niche, as the go-to person, and want to work with you more in the future to help them. Your book's going to help them to go from, first of all, to see that it's possible for them to go from A to B, where they want to be. And through their book, you're going to take them through the first little few steps. It's going to take them to here, and then to come and work with you is going to take them to point B. And then, of course, there's a new point B.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so, sorry, out of that percentage, only 2%, I mentioned it before, only 2% ever write and publish their books.
That is, I was just amazed when I hear that number, because that's not very many. There's a lot of people who have it, like I know one of your clients had it sitting on her computer for a long time before she finally published, and you took her to #1, right? You want to tell that story really quick?
Yeah, I'll just say Ashley, and she's one of the top coaches for one of the top biggest mentors on this planet, if you know who I mean, really big guy. She had her book sitting on my hard drive for 4 years. And she was invited to go onto a TV show to promote her new coaching business.
Mm-hmm.
And the producer of the TV show says, "Have you got a book?" And she said, "Well, I do, but I don't. I've got a book, but I haven't published it." I said, "Right, you need to get in touch with Christine." Here she is. So we connected the two of us. And we had something like 10 days before her TV show to get her book edited, formatted, published, and taken to the #1 best-selling author before the show. And we did it within that time. And made lots of changes to the book as well, which helped people come through, create lead magnets and what have you like that in her book. So, yeah, she was
crazy.
Absolutely blown away with the results. And to have something sitting on your hard drive for 4 years, to then within 10 days getting it out there and having her message shown, and the reviews and everything from the book has been amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy because writing a book it takes a lot of thought, and then for her to be able to have been that close for so long. I mean, did she express any thoughts about the fact that I should have done this earlier, or was she kicking herself for that at all?
Well, she was, because she had 90% of it there. We just had to tweak it and do different things like that. And adding calls to action and what have you. So she had it all sitting there, and especially being the coach that she is, like the top coach on the planet, it was that procrastination, but most procrastination actually comes from fear. And I love that, because that's what your book is all about, about fear and stepping through that. And literally, she didn't have to do anything. She sent it to me, and I just sent her some, my team, we just sent her some suggestions and what have you. And she said, "Yeah, that's fantastic." And it's having that bigger vision that helped her to see what her book could do for her, not only as the authority piece on the TV show, but everything else that it does for her. Because your book is just like the tip of the iceberg, and then everything else that's underneath. But I think one of the you mentioned it at the beginning. One of the biggest differences that it makes to people is that they just I've got clients who you can physically, when you're on the phone on the Zoom call with them, you can see them grow. They've just grown. Actually, they've grown in confidence. They've grown in their belief in themselves, which is such a big thing.
Yeah, and one thing we were going to talk about is, how does it feel, right? Because, I got my book, right? The Year of Fears. And I'm super proud of myself for completing it and then publishing especially. And I got to tell you, though, the thing that was, because I had all these fears around it too, how are people going to judge it or what have you? But the thing was that when I finally got to the last words were done, and I'm like, oh no, I have to do the next step, which is publish it, right? Because writing it is great, but nobody's reading it. Nobody is seeing it all. So then when I got to that point where it was time to actually upload it and put it on Amazon, there's like a whole mess of emotions went through me, of completion, starting something and ending it, actually finishing it. And then that, wow, this means that I actually now have a book that I can, because I want to speak on stage, and to speak on stage, it's ideal. Obviously, you don't have to have a book, but it's ideal to have a book because it's a good segue into speaking on stage. So I was like, this is going to open up some opportunities that I never had before this moment that I hit that button. So it's just the emotions that go through are amazing. And then you have people sending me messages like, "Oh, I just read your book. I really liked it." I was like, wow, that's so cool. I never thought anybody would read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you had your program wrapped around your, your business wrapped around your book, and you've got links and feeders, giving them little tasters of what it's like to work with you throughout the book.
Yeah.
That's even more beneficial. But let me ask you a question. How does it feel now that you have written and published your book? Was that a scary moment? Because I want to congratulate you, Lynda, on you took fast action.
Yeah.
And, we worked together, and, I gave you something to do, and by the next morning, you'd done 3 chapters, Yeah. So you took fast action in amongst your busy day. You said, right, this is what I'm going to do. And, so taking that scary, stepping through and publishing your book. Now, how does it feel?
Oh, now I'm being interviewed. Yay. Well, first I want to stop before I mention that is that, I was working with Christine on this, and I had been writing a book for about a year. So before I even met Christine, I had already started writing a book, but it was all over the place. Sometimes I had handwritten it. Sometimes I had it in a Word document. Sometimes I had, stuff in Google Docs, like literally it was all over the place. And then when I started talking to Christine, she just like gave me this guideline of what to follow. And then she'd say, okay, here's what you need to do today. Now, all of a sudden, all that I had already written, I started all over again, because I realized that none of it really fit what Christine was talking about. So it was really cool to have a direction, because that direction, Christine, gave me clarity. And the clarity is what you need in order to be able to move forward, right? Like clarity is really key to all of this. So once I discovered that fear really was my topic, that's when I could concentrate on writing the book. And so you put me through this process. And like you said, when you gave me a task, I finished it right away. Literally finished the book in 2 weeks from start to finish, because I had guidance now. Because prior to that, I had no guidance. Yeah. So it felt amazing to think that I could actually come up with the stuff that's in my head and blurt it out, and put it onto paper and then have it make sense. That's what it's like. Wow, I had no idea I had that ability. So that's one thing, is it gave me confidence. It gave me validity, because there's like these issues that I go through of that, you're unworthy and all these things that I have gone through my whole life, as a child, and I still go through those, but I'm able to move through them a lot faster. And finishing my book, publishing it, and have people actually reading it and giving me good feedback on it, I don't know, I can't really explain fully, but it gives me a sense, just a tremendous sense of I'm doing it, I guess. I don't even know, like that's so simple, but that's really it. I'm doing it. I'm taking action, and I'm making this shit happen. It's like awesome. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's once you get that momentum, then it's like a ball rolling down a hill or a snowball. It really picks up momentum and grows and moves faster. So you took great action on that. So. Well done.
Thank you. Well, so let me ask you, how did you get into this? Because I know you were a school teacher, but how did you get into helping people publish their books, and especially like 455 plus authors becoming #1? How did you get into that?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I had no intention of writing the book myself. I had no intention of getting into this business. I'm a school teacher by profession, and I have when I left uni, I didn't even go straight into teaching. I worked in a hospital, actually, in admin, in occupational therapy for a year or so. And then I went into direct sales in life insurance. Can you believe that? I was a young girl, like 23, going out knocking on doors around the coal mining areas in North Yorkshire. And then during the miners' strike, anyway, that's all history. But I've taught, and then I've come out of teaching, and I've gone into something, in entrepreneurial or self-employment type world. Then I was, when I came over to Australia, I was in real estate, and then I was an investor finance strategist with mortgages for investors. And then, before 2008 to 2010, I had my own social media business. But because of pressures, from my husband and, financial pressures and what have you, because this was back in the day when Facebook had only 500,000 people. And I was, running workshops and seminars and speaking at breakfast meetings and what have you, saying, you've got to get on Facebook. There's nearly 500,000 people there. So that's a long time ago. So when it first started, I learned Twitter with Christine. I was the Twitter queen. I've never gone Twitter now. I shouldn't say that, but I don't. And I went back to teaching, but I've always had this burning desire. I've got to I've got to do my own business. And it wasn't until 2013 that I said, this is it. I am doing this. I am not teaching anymore. And I left teaching for what I thought was going to be for good. And I actually started, I was a certified trainer for a magazine platform. So teaching people how to create their own digital magazines, which I know that you're editor for one right now. So
right.
I've always been such an early adopter. And right back when I was doing that, no one had ever heard of a digital magazine. So I thought, I'll write a book so that I can give that to people. Because, you read this, and then they get an understanding of what it is. And at the time I was doing this, I had a coach for Facebook marketing, and I was about to run my first webinar on, how to do a digital magazine. And my coach at the time said, well, you've written this book, you've got all this attraction, everyone's asking you how to write your book. How did you become a #1 best-selling author? And I followed a system. And, she said, why don't you do it on that? So that's how I evolved into writing the book. And then it's been focusing on that one thing and being known for that one thing, even though I do other things like helping people to develop their business and, expand their business, go through to the next level. The book is the one thing that I'm known for. So I think it's just focusing on that one thing. If you haven't read the book, read the book. It's amazing. So it's just focusing on that and having coaches and mentors who take you through the different things through to the next level, or having a coach or mentor who can do all, teach you how to do all of it as well is another great thing. So that's just how I did it. And then, the first book I did for someone else was a coach who had a large group. So if you're looking at how to get into something, look at how you can help someone else first.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that for free. And because of that, then obviously posting things in his group and him saying, what a great job and thank you so much. Then I had a couple of people coming through from that. Can you show me how to do it? And that's literally what I did. That's how I started to grow and evolve, and then, pretty much work through referrals and what have you. So it's just been amazing. So yeah,
it's really awesome how we're doing one thing and then it can morph into something else, but only if we see the possibility or the opportunity. So before we go to our next thing, I see Patty and Kristen are here. You guys, welcome. Good to see you. If anybody out there watching live is interested in coming on and asking Christine some questions, or 1 or 2 questions, I can't have you ask like 30 questions or anything. But if you want to come on and ask a question, go ahead and in the comments put live. Yeah, put live in the comments so that I can send you the link so that you can come join us live with us. But it is true, like anything that we do in life, like there's opportunities that abound, but if our mind is closed to those opportunities or those possibilities, we won't even see them, but they're there all the time, right? So you had this opportunity and you took it and they were like, well, I don't really know where this is going to go, but heck, throw caution to the wind and do it live. Okay. I'm going to send Kristen a message to join us here. So, but it's just really cool. Thing is that we all have opportunities, but not everybody takes that opportunity. So Kristen, I just sent you the link. And you did though, right?
One thing I thought about around that as well is the other thing that helps you to have, to build and grow your business and have the success in it is having a great team around you. So that's a team
Yes.
of you, so a team of coaches and mentors that help to guide you through to get to the next step, but a team around you that you're working with. And, I have not outsourcers, I have virtual assistants, and also my mum's been helping me as well. But I have virtual assistants who help me. I cannot do everything in my business, and I took on the virtual assistants before I was earning any money because I knew that I couldn't grow without their help.
Yeah.
I do a lot of done for you services as well, which is, once people have written their book, then we go and, edit, format, do the layout, do the print version, do the launch, do everything around that. It's a lot of work, and I can't do all of that myself. So I have a team around me who do, maybe the graphics, or they do the layout, or they do the research for the keywords, and, they do so much. Literally what we all need to stay in our own zone of genius. So whatever your zone of genius is, mine is talking to people, is seeing their, talking with people and seeing what they're, helping them to see the vision that they want in their business, and then creating that through the book, but then also seeing the vision of what their book can do to help them grow their business and what they need to do after that. Because it's like you said before, if it's sitting on your computer, no one's going to see it. But likewise, if it's just sitting on Amazon, you're not going to get very much sales. You've got to promote it, and you've got to, keep putting things out there. It's just like a website, a Facebook page. You've got it sitting there doing nothing. No one's ever going to see it. You've got to do things.
Yeah, there's a lot of elements to it. So Kristen, just so you know, I did send you the link. So I'm not sure if you're able to get on. I just realized that if you're not on Chrome, that you can't come on. Be Live is only good for Chrome, at least for right now. So if you're not on Chrome, then you won't be able to come on. So let's talk about book topics. Like, how does somebody know what kind of topic they should start with? I mean, should people just tell their life story, or where do they go? How should they decide what kind of topic they want to start with?
That is a really great question, because it's one of the things that a lot of people have. It's either having no idea or having too many ideas. And when I first started to write my book, the first one, I was like, should I do it on this? Or should I do it on this? Or this? Or this? And I'm like, just pick one. So I just picked one. And that's the same for anyone. It doesn't matter. The most important thing is get your first book out there, and then you can write many other books after that, because once you follow the system, it's really fast and you can knock them out, really quite quickly. But the other thing that I would say is you want to reverse engineer. So start with the end in mind. So Stephen Covey's second habit of 7 habits of highly successful entrepreneurs or successful people is to start with the end in mind, or begin with the end in mind. So it's to look at your why. What is your why? What do you want to get out of your book? So if you envisage yourself 12 months down the track, what do you want to look back on and say, this is a really great year? What do you want to accomplish or to have happened? Or how do you want to grow in the 12 months, and say, right, okay, so if I want this to happen, what should my book be about? Who is my audience? What do they want to read about, and how can I help them? And ultimately, for most of my clients, I have some that it's a legacy and they just want to get their story out. I don't mean just, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. They want to get their story out and leave a legacy. But for most people, it is a way of building their business. So your topic is really about what your business is about. But you can have so many different topics. And if you're wondering how much to put in the book, let me just say that I haven't got any here because I put them all in my book cupboard. But some people say, oh, my book's less than 200 pages. Well, that's great. That's awesome. Most business books are between sort of 90 and 140 pages. But over the last sort of year to 18 months, there has been this growing trend that books, between 45 and 60 pages are great, short books, because people want to consume things fast. So you could have your first book, and then it could become a series of books, which could end up ultimately in one, not this big, but one larger book. If you have a series of books that take people through the very first step, then they need your next book for the second step and the third, and they need to come and work with you, you know. So that's it's just getting that first book out, really.
That's really awesome. I love how they're going shorter and shorter. But hey, Kristen's here. I'm going to bring her on. Kristen's coming on. 3, 2, 1. Here she is. Welcome, Kristen.
Hey, Kristen.
Hi. I wasn't sure if it was working or not because I've never done this.
She's there. I can't see it.
There we go. Awesome.
Hi,
Congratulations on breaking through the first timer. So you have a question for Christine about book writing?
Well, I came in late, so I wasn't sure what her book is called that we're talking about, on how to write a book, right?
Oh, no, my book was about how to do a digital magazine. So it's not something that I would promote because it was sort of 2.5 years. So it's all old information now.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, you do things slightly differently with that now. But I am, in the next 90 days, and it will probably happen day 85 to 90, you know, going to be writing about why you should write a book. Here you go. It's first announced on here about why you write your book and how it can really help you in the, I'm just thinking of a title just came to my head. I'm going to have to write that down.
Oh, I better write that down. So you're going to help 90 authors, though, in 90 days, right? Write their book?
Yes.
Well, that will be me because I want to write a book.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, my big mission, you know, I was in Bali for 2 weeks over Christmas. I'm like, right, what big audacious, you know, just, I wrote down 11 goals. In 10, I added another one on. The last one was just get my garden sorted, get someone in to plan out my garden, have a really nice, you know, because the garden's nice, but I just want it planned out. But the other goals, then I said, right, what's my big audacious goal that's going to help me fill out a lot of the other goals? And as Lynda said, it was in the next 90 days to help 90 people to become an author.
Wow. Okay. Sounds good.
Big audacious goals. I love them. The bags, right? The bags. Well, Christine, you have...
I'm eating cashews if you're wondering why I keep stuffing things in my mouth. Cashews.
I've set out some...
I'm sorry, pistachios.
Mosquito bites.
Oh, is that your mosquito bites? Oh.
Mosquito bites. Yeah, got two. Keep scratching them. So what?
Well, now we have a free offer to give everybody. So you want to mention what that is and how they can use it? I'll put it on the screen.
Yeah, awesome. So it's literally a roadmap or a cheat sheet of how to. Is anyone else getting that feedback? Just me. Of how to write your, you know, the stages to go through to write your book. So. I thought you were putting the image of it. I was going to take you through that. So if you go to that link, then you can, it's on Facebook, and you just click the button down at the bottom. It takes you through to the next page, which then you can download the cheat sheet, but then also there's a video on there taking you through the steps.
Okay,
then
cool.
There's also a button on there. I'll say that here. There's another button on there as well. That if you want to log in, book it in for a call, there's a Calendly link that you can book in. I've set some time aside next week. So if you want to book a call, then you can see how and if we can help you. And if I can't help you, then I may be able to suggest some places where you can go. We can do a bit of a brainstorming and strategy session on the call.
Yeah, and then Ryan says his mom wants to write a book too. Ryan is the one he's the whole reason I do all these videos, because he asked me to do a video for him like almost 4 years. It's been almost 4 years. He asked me to do one every single day. So, you know, I haven't missed it. I've only missed one day, and it was the day my sister passed away. But, you know, like for 4 years, I've done videos every day. And it's because of Ryan. So he's the one to blame for all this.
Ryan, have a book.
Ryan hasn't written a book. Yeah, Ryan, you can write a book. Ryan's an artist, a painter, so he actually would be cool to have a book of all of his paintings. That would be cool.
Awesome. My sister-in-law is an artist, and her husband's an artist. Everyone's an artist in my husband's family apart from him. And she has written 3 books, but you know where they are? On her computer.
On the computer.
One was a children's book about the dinosaur chicken, and it was hilarious, and it had so much research and history and science behind it as well, which were all and referenced for adults, or for children as well, but along with the storyline. And then she's an art historian, so she's written, sort of like the next, Angels and Demons, what's it called? Anyway, like really big books, but they're sitting on a hard drive. Like we have to get them. We have to get them off there, and they're amazing. She is so intelligent, so much knowledge, but it's still sitting on a hard drive.
Got to get it out of there. So, Kristen, what do you have any ideas what your book is going to be about? And if not, do you want to throw some ideas out there and see what comes up?
When I went to I hope I say it right, the Stegula? Stigula?
Stigula,
How do you say it? Stigula?
Stigula.
Stigula. When you announced your book, I did an outline that night, and it's about being consistent and persistent and tenacious and not giving up. That's what my book's going to be about. Yeah. Because I came from, like Lynda, massive abuse, dysfunction, 3 moms, 3 dads, got held back in 8th grade. I was told I wasn't good enough. I wasn't smart enough. And I'm a computer science major, and I got honors after that because I said, oh, really? So I graduated high school with honors, went to San Diego State, got honors in computer science. And this is when women didn't do computer science. So I was also told I couldn't do computer science, that I was a woman and I just couldn't do that.
So let me ask you, where can you see yourself in 12 months' time? What do you want? If you look back over the last, if you imagine what date is it with you today? So for me, it's the
11th or 12th.
You. So let's say you're on the 11th of January 2019. You're looking back over the 12 months and saying, that was a bloody awesome year. What would have to have happened for that to be the case?
I mean, next year, what would happen? Well, my son would graduate.
No, for you. This time next year, you're looking back over 12 months and saying, that was an awesome year. What would have to have happened?
Well, I want to write a book, so that would be one. I want to work with Lynda to get away from a lot of fears I have still that I hold on to. I want to speak as well, even though it's petrifying, even though I do it for work.
Can I just hold up there? Not what you want to do, it's what you have done. You're looking back over the 12 months and it's, this is what I've done, this is what I've accomplished. I've written a book, I have spoken on stage, I've spoken here. What have you done?
Oh, what have I done? Okay. Well, those are 2 things that if I could do that, I'd be pretty happy.
I have done it. I have done this.
I have written a book and I have talked on stage.
Right, okay. Cool. And what is your topic that you're talking about, being tenacious and
just getting through school, getting through college, being a single mom, raising 2 kids. Yeah. Having an ex that had supervised visitation, someone that came pounding on my door, had restraining orders. I mean, the list can go for years on everything. No one knows it because I don't talk about it.
Yeah. Can I ask you, are you like coaching or teaching other people or helping other people to get through the same things?
Not yet. Not
that's
yet. I've had my head down in the sand just to survive for 30 years on my own, and now that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Okay, great. So working through your book, and this is what we do, people who are going through the coaching is, and this is what, with Lynda, you had several different topics, didn't you? So it's working out, where do you want to be in 12 months' time, if you're working with other people, how do you want to be working with them? And it's really molding your book around that, or that around your book, so, like the book fitting together. Then you can really develop it. So, thanks for sharing all of that. There's lots of so many ideas already, but I'm not going to go into it in here.
Yeah, thank you.
Go into it.
So that's awesome. Is that helpful, Kristen?
Yeah. I'm going to
need
some guidance, though.
Yeah. There's so many elements and so many reasons to write a book. So it is discovering like why you want to write it. And it can be so simple as just, I want to write it so I can write a book. There doesn't always have to be like a big end result to it.
Well,
just
hopefully it would help people that have been in my position that don't make it through. I have my brother who didn't make it through all this stuff. So if it could just help one person.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for sharing.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. Well, thanks for being here, Kristen. I'm going to send you back down to the lobby and then continue watching. So Paul Mahoney said, Mahoney, I know Molly Mahoney. So Paul Maloney says he just finished writing his book. So Paul, do you want to come up and talk about the fact that you just wrote your book and what you're going to be doing with it? If so, go ahead and just write Paul type live in the comments there, and then I'll send you the link to join us, or I'll just send you the link to join us anyway. Then we can bring one person up, and then Christine, is there anything that I should be asking you that I haven't asked you?
Yeah, I mean, your book obviously can open so many doors for you. You've spoken about speaking, and sorry, was it right? I couldn't. Is it Rachel or Rebecca? It's just on.
You what?
Was it Rachel or Rebecca? Sorry, that was just on. I didn't see.
Oh, Kristen.
Oh, Kristen, where did I get Rachel and Rebecca from? Kristen, talked about wanting to speak. It can really open doors, especially for that, for really growing your business. If you are in business, this is, and I know a lot of people aren't. It might be for writing your legacy, just getting your story out there. I've got one client, for example, Sonny, who had just wanted to write his story, and so we actually did that at a different level. He didn't want to write any of it himself. We actually interviewed him and recorded it, and then I had a writer write it, and then it went back to him and said, is this how it is? And we had to then extract the story part out, extract more emotion and story out of it, because there's a lot there, but obviously because of what he was holding back on bits of it. So it's extracting that out through the interview and the writing process. And since he wrote his book, then he's been, he's here in Australia. Went over to the States for, I can't remember, it was 3 or 6 months, touring around, speaking and running 1 and 2 day workshops for other people. So just helping them to do the same, because he had, his story was that he went through, it was a bit of a trauma that happened while he was a child, and then he, I think it was for about 5 years, he didn't speak at all. So it was, pretty profound story to get out. So actually opening doors for you to be able to, it's the first way into someone to say, here's my book, here's the topic, I would love to come and speak on your stage, or I'd love, even if it's your own stage, I find that's really powerful. Having your, you don't have to wait to go on someone else's stage, create your own stage, whether it's a webinar, a virtual like Lynda's doing here. Interview other people around the topic. That's a way of getting to know other people who are in your arena, who are maybe a few steps ahead of you, and building your network there. So, and then being able to see your speaking and interview skills, as Lynda's got great ones here. So it just really opens the door for you either to get to speak to someone about it, or to appear on stage. But then when you appear on stage, you can, give away your book or sell it from the back of the stage. There's so many different things. If you're a consultant and you're trying to get into the CEO, for example, here's a really great one. You're trying to get into someone in a big company and he's got, you can't get past the gatekeeper. You can never get that phone call. The email doesn't get to him. The phone doesn't get to him. It goes to to the gatekeeper, to the assistant. And, here's what you can do once you've published your book and say it's on Amazon, for example. Who doesn't love getting gifts from Amazon or, parcels come through? It's very highly likely that that gets through onto his desk or her desk, and they open it and then they see a message inside from you. I love what you're doing. I'd really like to connect with you. And I really think, what I speak about on page 89 will resonate with you. Oh, what's on 89, So that's a great way of being able to do that. Send it through directly from Amazon. So, yeah.
And I can vouch for that because I was a legal secretary for 20 years, and I'd say maybe in the whole 20 years, maybe 3 times, somebody actually sent a book with a little handwritten note on the corner of it, and it was exactly like what you said. They said, you should check out this pages, 7 through 10 or whatever, in little handwritten note. Well, I thought it was my boss's friend, because it was a handwritten note on the book telling specifically what pages to look at. And then I handed it to my boss and he's like, oh, I don't know who that is. I said, oh, your friend so-and-so sent it. He's like, I don't know who that is. Like, well, that was brilliant. A really great way to get through the gatekeeper, as you said. Now let's talk about just really quickly about collaboration books. Because first of all, the topic here is, writing your book without fear. So when we talk about writing a book, sometimes there's a fear around just writing it, but then there's also the fear of actually publishing it. And then there's the fear of now carry it around and to networking events or not, now what do I do with it? I've published it. Now what do I do with it? But then there's also, would you say that a collaboration book would be a good way to start for people who might be fearful about putting their own book out there? And then just quickly explain what a collaboration book is.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I know that you did a chapter in a collaboration book initially.
Yeah.
I did. I've got 2 boxes full of these books. That mine were a coffee table book out in the shed. I think I gave them out.
Exactly.
That's about it. And a collaboration book, first of all, is where someone who is the author or the producer of the book decides on a topic and then reaches out to people, either for free or, but in most cases, paid, where you have to come in and you pay anywhere between, $1,000 and $8,000 or $10,000 to be part of that book. And you're using that as a springboard for their name or other people who may be in the book. It's a bit like if you've ever been on a summit where you've got lots of different speakers. It's a bit like that, only in a book. And they, it could be all around the same topic, or it could be a more general topic, and then have different people with slightly different ways of doing things or slightly different niches, but with the, looking at the same outcome. So that is a collaboration book. So you may write a chapter, or it may be a couple of pages. And within that, you can then have a link coming through to your website, your Facebook page, to, for people to get to know more about you or to get free bonuses from you. So it's a way of building your list from that as well. Or people just resonating with you and reaching out to you. As the author of a book like that, it's a great way of being able to reach out and get other people to come in. So say, for example, I was doing something about how to get your message out in a really broad way. Then I might do something on books, on social media, and one might be Facebook, Instagram. It might be, on video. It might be, videos, as in the series of videos. Another one might be how to do Facebook Lives, how to use the platform Be Live, to really get your message out there. might be podcasts. So I might reach out to different people to compile a book on different topics. It's really going to help people get their message out there. And then the reader can pick out 2 or 3 different areas that they want to focus on. So as an author of that, Lynda, you and I have got plans as well for doing the same sort of thing, where people can come in and we can help them do that. Actually, that we can talk about that, because it's something we're going to do in June. But then I have the 2 months in the UK, so we can pick up on that again, where you could make at least $20,000 from your book from doing that before you've even written a word. So if anybody wants to know about that as well, then reach out to Lynda or myself, and we can set something up with that. So that's a great way of collaborating, and then having a big launch party where everyone can come, get lots of media attention, and go through from that. So that's a great way. Either look for other people that you can collaborate with, be in their book, or do your own book and reach out for other people in your niche, in your topic area, that can come and add value to your book. That's a great way.
And it does range, because like you said, I actually heard one the other day, $700 to be in a collaboration book. But so let's say it ranged like 700 to $8,000, $10,000. I've heard 15,000 to have a chapter in a collaboration book. So the question would be like, how do you know the price? The price does not dictate whether that's the book to be in or not. As far as like, oh, well, $700, that must be a great one because it's only $700, or, $20,000, that must be a great one because it's $20,000. That's not what dictates. It's actually, well, why don't you share with us, like, how could you tell if the collaboration book you're going to be in is a good one for you or not?
Yeah, right question. I would say the very first thing to look at is it in alignment with your values and with your purpose and with your end in mind? Cast your mind forward again. That always look 12 months forward and come back. Is that something that is going to help me, serve me and my business? And how can I help serve them and their business as well? So is it in alignment? And also, is it something that is going to benefit me more than doing my own book? So, for instance, I know with yours, Lynda, for example, it was great. It was great mentorship, and the value that you've got out of it, and the friends that you've got out of it, have really been amazing. So, sometimes you can never tell from that point of view. It's just you've got to go and try it and see how it works. So, I think listen to your gut. I think that's the thing, especially women. We're so in tune. We're so, but we just don't. We all, get out of here and get into your gut, get into your heart, and just sit and think, feel which one feels the best for you.
And I guess that could be said for just about anything too. Sometimes, sorry, I have this light. It's like, there we go. Okay, I'm going to sit over here. But like often I think that we encounter things that, like, listening to the gut really is, sometimes that's the fear talking in our gut, and sometimes it's the caution talking in our gut. But sometimes the caution can be the fear, which makes us not do something that we maybe should really look a little further into. So listening to the gut is really important. But
for me, I get it. I get the excitement. Oh, that's what, So I don't fear and hold back. It's just, I'm like, let's do it.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. Yeah, because I've had a lot of things that, how many times have I listened to my gut and it was wrong? I've done that before. But it's good to make sure you check out the person who's heading it, first of all. Because I actually know a story recently of a woman who got into a collaboration book and she was promised all this stuff and none of it happened. And so if she had she was kicking herself because she's like, my gut said no. Yeah. But they made all these promises and I got all excited. And so I did it out of the excitement. So really it is, like you said, pay attention to what your gut's telling you and then do some research, unless you want to just say no, and that works too. Oh, wait, Patty says a common thing lately, get out of your heart, listen to your gut. Yep. Yeah, I know, because we're always we're told to lead, by our heart, for the last decades or whatever. But now it's like, listen to your gut because it's telling you what to do, right? Yeah. So Christine, how can people get in touch with you? Because I know we have your roadmap, but also how's another way that they can get in touch with you?
Well, if you go through to the roadmap, that will take you through to my Facebook business page, and you can just message me on there. Or my personal page is facebook.com/like Christine. So like Christine. LIKE.
Okay, and I can hardly hear that for some reason. I can't. My computer decided it's going to make a lot of noise right now. So I don't know. You never know what's going on here. But I heard Patty. Can you write that up? Patty will write it out. Patty's really good about putting the websites down there for me.
Or you can go to my website as well. But there's no but. You can go to my website if you want to watch any videos and just get to see more about me. Is christinerobinson.com.au.
Yeah. Okay, good. Well, thank you so much. Oh, she said Christine was dropping out. That's why I couldn't hear you. Okay, I thought it was my computer.
Okay. I'll say it again then. It's if you go to the link that's showing there on the screen now, that takes you through to my Facebook business page. And so you can message me there.
Okay.
Or go to that link and just, if you want to talk to me directly, book a call. The other place is my personal page, which is facebook.com/like Christine. And then also, thanks for that, my website there as well.
What do you say, like Christine?
Like me. I want to be like.
Awesome. That's so much better than what mine is. Mine's like Admiral Sue. It's my name backwards. like Christine better. That's so much awesome. So you guys,
Lynda.
Exactly. Well, thank you again so much. I always love having you. And again, you guys go download her roadmap. It's really cool. I was looking it over and I'm like, oh my gosh, it makes so much sense. Sometimes it takes having just this small, simple thing that you're looking at that makes you realize how simple it really is. Like in my head, it was like all this whole mess. But when I saw your roadmap, I'm like, yes, awesome.
Yeah, not the roadmap. The very first thing, which is all about planning, that's the biggest thing. Once you've planned, you can write your book in one day. One day.
One day.
I mean, 2 days at the most. If you set aside the time, you can do it, But I have, when I had a 2-day book retreat, last year in Bali, I had a local chiropractor there, came across, and she was like struggling because she had so much content, so much knowledge, so much 20 years of being a chiropractor and running workshops and what have you. And all she needed was this little bit. And once we cracked that code with her that she just needed this little bit, then she went away. I said, 4 o'clock I left, and I'm like, we'll meet you back by the pool at 7. She was late. She came back and like, sorry, I'm late. I've been writing. I've got like a third of it done. And by breakfast the next morning, she had finished her book.
Oh my goodness. That's all it took. Well, I know that Kristen definitely will want to go to Bali for your next one. Kristen's a traveler. She loves traveling. So I know she'll definitely want to go there. When is your next one in Bali? Do you know?
June.
Oh, it's this June.
June.
Okay, Kristen. She might not be able to do it that early, but but thank you so much for being here. You guys, again, download that roadmap, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. I'll be doing videos every day because I promised Ryan I would. So I'll be doing that for sure. But Christine, again, thanks so much. And I forgot, I wanted to mention this. So, I was working with Christine and she was helping me write my book. And then I was like, I can go ahead and become a #1 bestseller myself. So I tried that and it didn't work. I became a bestseller, which is awesome, but not a #1 bestseller. So now I'm going to work with Christine so I can now become a #1 bestseller. So what this tells you guys is that your first chance is not your only chance, because even though I didn't become a #1 bestseller when I rolled out my book or launched it, I still have a chance. There's a chance out there. And so Christine is going to help me do that, when I'm ready, because some prep work that I probably don't even know about because I didn't do it that way. So, but I'm looking forward to becoming a #1 bestseller in the Year of Fears. And I'm also working on my next book as well. So I'm excited to be putting that one out there. And that will be related, around fears also, because that'll be like my thing. Fears. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, awesome.
So I'm looking forward to it, Christine.
#1 bestseller as soon as next week or the week after. It
doesn't take that long?
We have all things in place and we just go, I have my team, one person does this, someone else does that.
Boom. Okay. We'll be talking about that when we got off the line here then. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being here. You guys, everybody, thanks for stopping by and we'll see you soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Lynda. Been an awesome interview. Thank you.
Thank you.